Dear student, due to coronavirus, school started online classes for your study. So you can subscribe Golden Flower Palia YouTube channel, like and press the bell icon.
Hello students. So in the last video we were discussing about the digestion of food in the small intestine, and we have studied that the small intestine is the largest part of the digestive system. In small intestine, two glands secretes their chemicals. Except these chemicals, few chemicals are formed by the small intestine also. So these two glands which secrete their secretions into the small intestine, that is the liver. It one is the liver and pancreas. Liver and pancreas. So what are these? These two are the glands which secrete their chemicals directly into the small intestine, and these two chemicals are helpful in the digestion of food. Liver produce the bile juice. Liver produce the bile juice which is helpful in the digestion of fat molecules present in the food. Bile juice is alkaline, which makes the medium of the food which is coming from the stomach to the small intestine alkaline, because the food which is present in the stomach that becomes acidic due to the addition of the hydrochloric acid. So the main function of the bile juice, it makes the alkaline food. It makes the food medium alkaline, so that the pancreatic juice can act very easily. Again, I am telling you, the digestion of food starts from the buccal cavity, and digestion of food completes into the small intestine. So in small intestine, in the last video already we have completed that how the bile juice is helpful in the digestion of food. So small intestine gets the secretion of pancreas. The tube which transfers the pancreatic chemical into the small intestine, that is the pancreatic duct. And here is the one special duct which is connected with the bile duct, means hepatic duct, and the pancreatic duct. So this duct is considered as hepatopancreatic duct. So when the food comes from the stomach to the small intestine, there in the stomach one special types of the muscles are present. They are called sphincter muscles. These muscles are present at the joining of the small intestine and the stomach. So these sphincter control the amount of the food which is coming from stomach to the small intestine. So small intestine means the chemical which is coming from the pancreas. It helps in the digestion of food. So chemical released from chemical of pancreas is called pancreatic juice. Okay, the chemicals which is released from the pancreas is called pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains three types of the chemicals. The first one is the pancreatic amylase. Second, peptidase like trypsin and pancreatic lipase. Pancreatic lipase. Pancreatic amylase, pancreatic peptidase are trypsin, pancreatic lipase. These three chemicals combinedly known as the pancreatic juice, and these three chemicals released from the pancreas is helpful for the complete digestion of the food in the small intestine. Then after that, what will happen? Amylase for digestion of carbohydrate. For digestion of carbohydrate. Pancreatic amylase. The word amylase is especially used for the digestion of carbohydrate. Enzyme which is used for the digestion of carbohydrate. Pancreatic peptidase, it is useful for the digestion of protein, because as I told you in the last video, the digestion of protein is very complex process. The digestion of protein not completes into the small stomach. It starts from the stomach but it completes into the small intestine. Pancreatic lipase. Pancreatic lipase is the digest fat molecules. Fatty molecules or fat molecules are fatty food. For protein. Digest protein. So these three chemicals which are helpful in the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fat. It means in the small intestine the complete digestion of food takes place. The complete digestion of food takes place. Then after that, I would like to tell you that after the action of these three chemicals, the food which is present in the small intestine carbohydrate forms glucose. Proteins are turned into amino acids. And fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So by making these units, by the formation of these units, the digestion of food completes into the small intestine. So mainly the small intestine getting the chemicals from the pancreas and the liver, or you can say the gallbladder. But as I told you that the few chemicals are formed by the small intestine, internal wall of the small intestine. Okay. So next one is the third part. Chemicals of small intestine. Okay. Few chemicals are formed by internal wall of small intestine, called succus entericus. This is the name given for the chemicals which are released from the internal wall of the small intestine, that is called the succus entericus. So what are the chemicals? For examples, maltase, sucrase, nucleotidase. nucleotides. Digest maltose sugar. Second, digest sucrose sugar. Digest DNA and RNA, means nucleic acids. Nucleic acids. Okay, this is called the nucleic acid. Digest DNA and RNA. Now I have given only three. The examples of the chemical released from the small intestine may be many more, but these are the three special chemicals which are released by the small intestine for the complete digestion of food. This is the maltase. It is an enzyme which is responsible for the digestion of maltose sugar. Sucrose, that is responsible for the digestion of sucrose sugar. Nucleotides, that is responsible for the digestion of nucleic acids or DNA or RNA. Nucleic acids are considered as the DNA or RNA. So into the small intestine, the complete digestion of food takes place. Whatever the food has to be digested, that will be complete out into the small intestine. I hope this topic is clear to you. So the digestion of food starts from the buccal cavity and it completes into the small intestine. After the completion of the digestion of food, the next step is the absorption of food. So absorption of food takes place into the small intestine. Next one is the absorption of food. Takes place in small intestine by finger-like structures called villi. This is the small intestine. Okay, so in the small intestine, in the inner wall of the small intestine, just for example, this is the small intestine. So internal wall of the small intestine have the finger-like structures like this. Okay, you can form the like this. These are the villi. Singular word is called villus. These are the villi which is responsible for the absorption of food. Means they will absorb the digested food and will give to the blood. Means the absorbed food will mix to the blood for the transport to the whole body. That is considered as the absorption of food. Okay, so the complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. Absorption of the digested food takes place into the small intestine. Next step is the assimilation. Okay, so assimilation means the absorbed food is transported to whole body and utilize its energy. Okay, the absorbed food is transported to the whole body and utilize its energy. So that process is considered as the assimilation. The absorbed food will transport to the each and every cell, and each and every cell will utilize the energy of the food. That is considered as the assimilation. Now Then after that, digestion of food in large intestine. Large intestine. Okay. No digestion of food. No digestion of food takes place in large intestine. No digestion of food takes place in large intestine. Only reabsorption of water from undigested food takes place. Okay. No digestion of food takes place in the large intestine. Only reabsorption of water takes place in from the undigested food. Now once again I am telling you, in the large intestine, already we have discussed in the last video, there are the three parts of the large intestine: cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum is helpful for the digestion of the cellulose, that is not play a very important role in the human body. Colon is responsible for the reabsorption of water from the undigested food. So when the digestion, the complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine, and the remaining undigested food is carried out to the large intestine. In the large intestine, the wall of the large intestine reabsorb the water from the undigested food. Reabsorb the water from the undigested food, that is considered as the from the undigested food, that is called reabsorption of water. And the remain undigested food is restored into the rectum. Rectum is a muscular part in which the undigested food is stored, and that is removed out from the anus periodically. In the rectum and anus are also having this type of the muscles, that is called the sphincter muscles for closing and opening of the anus. So the undigested food is removed out from the body periodically, that is called egestion. That is called egestion. Okay. So removal of undigested food. Removal of undigested food. Removal of undigested food from anus. This is called the complete digestion of the food in the human being. So dear students, from the beginning of this topic, we have started the digestion of food from the buccal cavity, and we have studied up to the last, that is the digestion of food in small intestine. So up to here, we have completed the first life process, first topic of the first chapter, that is the nutrition. First we have discussed about the general things of the nutrition, then we have studied the nutrition in plants, then we have studied the nutrition in simple animals, then we have studied the nutrition in the multicellular animals. Examples of the multicellular animals we have taken the human beings. So dear student, for today this is the lecture. In the next coming video I will start the next life process, that is the respiration. Till that, have the more practice, keep working and do the proper work. All the best. God bless you.
Do self-study at home and stay home, save lives. Thank you very much.